This show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek makes it easier than ever to buy and sell sports and concert tickets. Our listeners get $20 off of their first SeatGeek purchase. This is all you have to do. You download the free SeatGeek app, you go to the settings tab and click on add promo code, and the promo code is church. And SeatGeek will send you $20 after you've made your first purchase. So download the free SeatGeek app now and enter promo code church today. Show is also brought to you by Datsusara. Go to dsgear.com for extremely high-quality functional gear made with hemp textiles. They have bags, gis, rash guards, and more. Go to dsgear.com right now and use code word Joey to get 5% off of your order. And go to onnit.com and use code word church to save 10% on all their great optimization products like Alpha Brain, New Mood, ShroomTech Immune, and ShroomTech Sport.
Oh shit, motherfuckers. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. Monday, June 13th, the day the devil was buried at sea and stabbed in the neck. OJ's alive. What are you gonna do? It's the church of what's happening now, bitches. Lee Syatt, Matt Baker, BJJ, and Uncle Joey here direct on a Monday. Smooth afternoon. Oh shit. You can't get by me, cocksuckers. You don't know these streets, motherfuckers. What's the story there, Lisa?
Ooh, these, whatever these are fucking great.
I told you.
Oh my God.
I've been telling you, you gotta change it up from time to time.
Yeah, we do.
Variety's the spice of life, man.
It is a spice of life. I went on a Ferris wheel this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, it was great.
That's good. You eat some ziti when you're in the fucking Ferris wheel? You have your little hat with the balloon on it on top? Fucking Ferris wheel. There's always a by the way with you, you know that?
Why? It was great. It was at Irvine. It was nice.
I went to the carnival. Unbelievable what I got to deal with. The grown man on a fucking Ferris wheel. I'm surprised you didn't bring home a rash or a fucking dead eyebrow.
And you put the jinx on me at the end of last week. You said I was going to get a sty again.
I got a sty last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did something fucked up.
It always happens the day of the podcast for me, and you always get it on like the weekends. That's messed up.
I don't know where the fuck I got it from. It went away. I put some cat piss on it, whatever the fuck you're supposed to put on it. And back like fucking doctor. Omaha, Nebraska was great this weekend. I just want to talk about one thing. I want to give my heart out. I know Matt Baker feels the same, and Lee to the victims in Orlando. A fucking disaster. A fucking disaster. You know. Do I have the answer? Does Matt have the answer? Does Lee have the answer? We got solutions, but nobody's going to listen. Nobody gives a fuck. So it really doesn't matter what we give a fuck. Right now, the important thing is that the souls get to the right place with Godspeed and that they're blessed and whatever the fuck comes with that into the next world. It's very sad that we live there and, there's the United States of America. We pay taxes. We have the right to bear arms, but I never wanted that. I don't want that. I don't want that, I don't want to fucking go out like I was when I was 22 with two guns strapped to me for no fucking reason, Like I said, in my world, a gun is a fucking magnet of death. It's just a magnet. When you deal with guns, you bump into people with guns. Next thing you know, you're giving people hugs and they have machine guns on their fucking body. And you sit there and go, I can't believe I'm in a fucking room. Have you ever hugged somebody and you felt a gun on them? Your body freezes, even if you know the person for 20 fucking years.
It's weird just to see a gun sometimes.
Just to see it on a person. So, like I said yesterday when I landed at the airport at 9:18 in the morning, I got in the cab. And as I was getting in the cab, two guys walked by me in military fashion with 2x2 fucking rocket launchers. I don't know what type of guns, AR-15. I wish I was an authority on guns, but I'm not. And before I left, I looked to my left, and in the parking structures, they had SWAT there, dog, with body armor on, ready to rock. Yeah. That's the world we got to live in now. Are you fucking kidding me? But we ate the hummus, and now we got to deal with what comes with it. You follow me?
I mean, the first time I was really ever exposed to that was Israel, because they just have the army everywhere. It's just they're constantly patrolling, and honestly, I felt pretty safe. Like, it was never like it never
Listen,
really freaked me out.
you feel safe.
Yeah.
And I get it. I feel safe too when I see two cops and whatever, but not really, because fucking Johnny Haddad could come out of a car with a bomb strapped and just pull it right in the middle of Terminal 4. But you know what? I wasn't born to see fucking guns around me. If not, I would have stayed in Havana fucking Cuba and had guards around me watching me. Do you understand me? And I tell you, as kooky as you people think Alex Jones is, he told me this 6 years ago, that in 10 years there's going to be TSA at parks. There's going to be TSA at parks. You're going to have to metal detectors at parks. You know, my wife and I were talking today about, I'll tell you who I would be. I'd be scared right now if I was Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They don't have metal detectors at the door, guys. They don't have metal detectors at the fucking door. You know, when I go to Vegas to relax, that's when I want to feel fucking safe. When I got 3 G's in my pocket and I'm playing blackjack. Not that I even do that. I don't even play blackjack. I just know how people get when they go to Vegas. You know, they sit down, they take their money out, they start drinking for free, a couple fucking sleeping pills, and you're just having a good time, whatever turns you on, man.
Don't you think they've been like preparing since like 9/11? Like just to me, Vegas seems like the place that would have to be fully always on alert.
Well, that's the city they want to get to. If you
Right.
talk to like Larry, who's very in on that stuff, he'll tell you that that's the city they really want to get to, because there's a lot of money. There's something that goes through Vegas, something that they would love to shut Vegas's lights out. And let me tell you
Right.
something. 30 years ago, Vegas was under scrutiny in the eye. I never trusted Vegas, and I have stories to back those things why I never trusted Vegas. But now they really got to be watching you. I'm scared to jerk off in the fucking shower in Vegas. They're watching, dog. You got to assume they're fucking watching. Matt Baker, talk to me, you fucking savage. You jiu-jitsu savage of death.
I'm entertained by this. Like, it's just I can kick back and just listen to you guys. No, when I was in New York, it was very interesting because they, Rockefeller Center, I was there for a tournament, and it was kind of just an eye-opener. They had, armed police right there in the middle of Times Square, everything. And great city, but it's kind of a little heartbreaking to the point where you're there to have fun. And there's guys with machine guns walking around.
It puts like a fucking certain, like a cat's tail sticks up, like a skunk. Like it didn't ruin your night. It doesn't ruin your night, but it stays in the back of your mind. And Jesus Christ, I'm drinking down the block from 2 guys dressed like they're going to fucking war. 2 guys just walked past me. From time to time, people fucking inspire me. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's a basketball player, sometimes it's a UFC fighter. I was always baffled with Bruce Lee as a child. And I was there when he was alive. And I used to hear all the talks, and I used to go to Chinatown, buy all the booklets. And he used to talk about this Jeet Kune Do shit. And not that it's shit, I'm just saying. He used to talk about Jeet Kune Do. And for years as a young man, I thought about what it took to take what you thought was important and sell it. Look at things and go, why don't, it's like now in grammar school. Did you guys all use a compass in grammar school? The one that you put the stick in and you spin around? Did you use one?
Yeah.
Did you use one to create a circle and a
yeah.
circumference of a circle?
I use it more for drawing.
Have you ever used the fucking thing again? So if you were going to start a school, the first thing you go is, listen, take that compass and shove it up your fucking ass. I don't want those things in my class.
A protractor.
Protractor, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was just so many things you learned in grammar school right now that you, as an adult, would go, what would you do different? Well, I needed to know more about geography. I needed to know more about English. I needed to know more about, whatever, but fuck social studies or whatever. Something that you didn't think was important to you. Everybody has that. If you talk to anybody about, with me at comedy, if you said to me, do you think it's necessary for me to go to a comedy school? No, I think it's necessary for you to learn the basics and then get on stage. That's it. Just get on stage. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know, you've been doing it for 2 years. Let me see your set. I don't want to see nothing. I've seen 1,000 fucking sets already. All you need to do is get on stage till your fucking eyes pop out. When is that? I have no idea. I've been doing it for 25 years. My eyes haven't popped out yet. So I don't fucking know. So I meet a guy like you who's interesting to the fucking max because you're well-behaved, you're mild-mannered, there's no fucking tattoos, you're a Christian, you're very sweet, and you've gotten your black belt under Jean Jacques. When did you join Jean Jacques? When did you become whatever with jiu-jitsu? What year?
Yeah, I trained 2 years before I went to Jean Jacques, just bumping around, just trying to figure out something to make things work. And it was October of '96 that I claimed that date because he used to give out these cards. And I remember getting October '96, and you would go in there and they would like check it to make sure you were official. And, so I can claim that particular time. But I think it was actually going there a little bit. I used to drive there and train on Saturdays. And, that's probably where I would say was my official Machado run.
So you've been a 20-year Machado guy.
Yeah.
John Jacques.
It makes me feel old, thinking about it.
No.
Yeah, time flies. So, yeah.
And when did you open your own school?
Around 2003. It was kind of an accident how it went, but I'm glad it worked out. So.
Was there anybody else from Bakersfield at that time teaching jiu-jitsu?
I think everybody at that time, they were trying to adopt jiu-jitsu. Like a lot of schools were you would have a karate school that would start a jiu-jitsu program or they weren't calling it jiu-jitsu. They were actually calling it more like grappling. One person renamed his own style of jiu-jitsu. And and that was it was from a different martial art. It was just when it hit and people were like, this is the thing to do. It was it was how can we make this work? How can we incorporate this in? And so a solid jiu-jitsu school like what we see today, there wasn't really any of that going on. There wasn't any good opportunities to train consistently, regularly. So I would go to this guy's house over here or go over there and then try to over there they're doing a little bit of this on Monday and maybe sometimes they meet up on Friday. So it was really hard to find adequate training. So the answer was go to LA or go to one of the major hub cities, and at the time it was kind of just it was scaled down to the Bay Area or Los Angeles area. Unfortunately, Bakersfield's not far from Los Angeles, so just drove over the Grapevine. The first place, fortunately, the first place that was really on the radar was Tarzana, Jean Jacques and Tarzana. So at the time, Renato Magno, who's the gentleman that runs Street Sports now, or the professor, the master that runs Street Sports. I don't know what he's calling himself, but I would just say Professor Renato Magno. He was actually the first black belt that I was actually getting a lot of instruction, and then Jean Jacques would come in, and he would bounce around because I think they still had the Redondo Beach school. So, keep him busy over there and then going back and forth, and then shortly into the mix. I still remember Jean Jacques' first lesson, and to believe it or not, I'm visualizing. I remember what he taught, but I'm thinking he was even teaching it without a gi. Not that Jean Jacques teaches a no-gi school or anything like that, but I think it was during the time when he was kind of prepping towards Abu Dhabi, and that's when he had his great moment in Abu Dhabi. Shortly after where he got most technical fighter and choked everybody.
It's amazing that Jean Jacques School is like Seattle to my comedy career, because you guys have yourself, Eddie, Todd, and Austin. There's a lot of black belts that I hear about. The cop that hangs out with John. Yeah. Jean Jacques has a lot of black belts that have done well on their own, or I don't even know. So it's really weird how with Seattle, when I came from Seattle, it was Brody Stevens and Josh Wolf, and a bunch of us came down. There's still a bunch of us that are still here, and it gives me a sense of pride that I'm affiliated with those guys. Like I had Brody on last week. I talk to Josh every fucking day on the phone. It's really weird when you see the growth of you people. Like I remember Eddie saying once to me, I remember Alberto when he was a fucking blue belt. We used to hang out at tournaments. That to me, that's like, wow. Like now Alberto has 3 fucking stripes. You have a couple stripes on your belt. Like this to me is like this Saturday. It's my 25th year doing comedy. Nothing has bothered me more than this date.
Just because it's 25?
My 50 year, when you turn 50, men have a breakdown? No. When you're 40, you're supposed to have a breakdown? No. You're supposed to have these breakdowns in life. Nothing has affected me. This date on Saturday probably means more to me than anything in the world. And I would have felt the same way if I had nothing going on, just because I didn't think I was going to do anything with my life. Never mind 25 fucking years. When you look at your jiu-jitsu career, you got to say 20 fucking years. that means that if I gain 300 more pounds and Matt Baker lets me get on top of him, you give Matt Baker 15 minutes and he'll figure out a way to choke me out. Yeah. As patient as can be, without even breaking a sweat. He'll move, he'll do this. I could even start with both fucking hands on his collar. He'll even give me the first choke, and I guarantee
I don't know about that.
Matt Baker can get out of it. I guarantee you. That's what a black belt is. That's why I bet my money on Nick Diaz that time, Nate Diaz.
No, that was awesome.
I respect jiu-jitsu. When I see, in the beginning, I would drop on people. People could just get on top of me. Watch this. Mm-hmm. And within 3 minutes, they were fucking choking me with one hand, and I would just flat. Like, I'm breathing heavy, and I was on top. I'm having a nervous breakdown. I was on top of you. You look at you. You didn't even break a sweat. Your gi's a little messed up.
What about Javier Vasquez putting you in side control?
Oh, on the floor that time, yeah.
And you're what? You're like 100 pounds heavier than him?
Yeah.
And you couldn't get up.
Oh, try getting out of Matt Baker's side control.
I'm sure.
Right? I give you fucking $5 if you get out of Matt Baker's. You think a building's on top of you. That's what sticking with something is. Sticking with something, guys. It's if Matt Baker, when you walked into Jean Jacques, the truth, and when you walked out, if I came to you as an angel and goes, ooh, you will be here in 20 years.
Getting a visual.
Would you beat the fuck out of me? Go 20 years, 20 fucking years jiu-jitsu. I ain't that much of a fucking stiff. Would you think that somebody came to you that day and said you'd be doing this for 20 years, having 3 successful schools, creating your own world of jiu-jitsu through Paris? I mean, you're out there fucking hustling. You're out there hustling. I look at your videos and I take some. Before I go to jiu-jitsu, I put your videos on loud. And as I'm putting my knee pads on and my gi pants.
Like the Rocky theme?
Yeah, I put your videos on.
I'm honored, man. Thank you.
And I take something and I go to, like, when you taught me the side control from 11 to 2, I forgot about putting my hip against, let me tell you something. If I put my fucking side of my ass against your face, listen, it's all over. It's all just tap, because within 3 inches you're gonna be sniffing my asshole. You got about 4 minutes before that packet deconstructs. Okay.
Well, that's the other part of the move I was gonna tell you.
Oh, please, and that hip side, that hip side changes it changes everything, and it's like arithmetic. You're just waiting. It's like you're going fishing. Just breathe and stay on top of the guy. He's going to go, and he's going to try to get you off. And all of a sudden, eventually, your hand goes through his arm, and you got it. Lee, it's like stealing. You didn't even do nothing. And next thing, now, part 2, next time we work together, is picking them. Oh, and he picks you up, Lee, and he puts his pressure on you, and he crushes his knees, and he pushes that belt against your fucking back. So you're like,
he's got it, man.
But I don't have it yet. So next time we work together, we're going to do part 2 and shit.
I'm going to tell you right now, you nailed it, actually. Give yourself credit. Because,
well, the system, your system, that slow movement, constant pressure, like keeping him thinking. I look at some of your videos that, listen, this is genius type shit. This is like Jew type shit. You know what, Lee? They can't pass your back if you're not on your back.
How do you not
Lee,
messing up right now?
Lee, you know what this motherfucker said? They can't pass your guard if you're not on your back.
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you supposed to be?
On your 3s, holding on to his sleeves. So when he goes to pull up to go away from you, you grab his leg, you drop your hip, he goes down, you got him in a fucking turret. Lee, this is something made for a little. You hit him with the alligator foot, Lee, it's all over. Lee's got alligator feet.
Oh, really?
How excited do you get when he puts up a new video?
Oh, my God. He whips him up. And listen, Lee, it's just, he pulls, we're fat dudes. He's pulling you up, Lee. Lee, he's pulling us up. So he's breathing already. Now you clamp onto his leg like it's a fucking rib. This system was invented for fat dudes. You clamp on like this, Lee, and you have that foot between his leg, you put it next to his ankle, and you go, bam, bam, it's over. Now is when you got to work, you got to get on top and huff and puff a little bit, but if you stick to Matt Baker's system, it's all over but the shouting for fat dudes and dudes who don't want to fly through the air.
Betas unite.
He's got a side control bait. That Lee, it's like you're next to him about to comb his hair. But he don't know. You got your thumb in his gi. And when he goes up, he opens his leg like a fucking Cosby victim. You slip your leg out, boom, you're in fucking mount. Lee, this shit is fucking simple. I'm retarded. And I'm telling you this From, you know, these people who go to, you ever get these white belts that come to your class and all of a sudden like, I've never done jiu-jitsu before. And all of a sudden a black belt's like, he's got him on an arm
he's a
bar.
freaking
because
liar.
these people watch videos. I can't learn like that. He's made videos that I could learn. That's a fucking video. You know, you have like the leg lock 101. I'm not ready for all that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's too complex for me. And I don't even need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it right now. I don't need it. You teach it to me and I know how to avoid it, but I don't need it. And this is what I'm saying, people. Sometimes there's people who translate something to the tiniest degree that you go, oh shit. It's like Pacino in that football movie. When he takes the kid out and he goes, listen, it's 5 o'clock. Your mom's calling you for dinner. You got one more play left. Remember? Go to the car and turn. I'm going to throw it to you right by the black Cadillac. It's that simple. We, in life, take everything and we make it so complicated from A to Z, myself included. I'm a stress cast, bro. Why do you think I smoke reefer and eat fucking pounds of edibles? Because my mind is going all fucking day. He's made a system that is so fucking easy. You know, we work together for 45 minutes. I go home. That day, I got a jiu-jitsu magazine in the mail. I bumped into the guy, gave me a free subscription. I open it up. There's a picture of you. I'm fucking blown away. I'm blown away, you know. And then I turn my computer on. I got fucking Periscope. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, no, but I don't have Chrome on my computer. I don't know how to turn it on. And between us, I don't want it on. Just leave it off. Chrome just gets motherfuckers in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You get Chrome, and now you're seeing shit that you're not supposed to see. So I can't catch your Periscope on the computer. I got to catch it on the phone. So sometimes I'm out, you know.
Well, thank you. Well, that whole I'm new to all this Periscope stuff. To be honest with you,
It's the future.
Yeah.
If you're not
I'm
doing
getting
jumping jacks on Periscope and you're a fitness trainer, you're slipping.
Yeah.
If you're not showing them your little diet in the morning, you're slipping. People want to be involved. People, remember when we were kids, Jack LaLanne used to come up in the morning at 9, and you do jumping jacks with Jack LaLanne, and the whole country did Jack. People will do that again if you give them a good product. If you tell people, listen, at 10 to 11, I'm going to come on Periscope. Let's do a 45 minutes kettlebell workout. You know what? Within a month, people are going to call you and say, listen, I'm coming to your house with a fucking check and my retarded kid and my fat fucking wife. You're training everybody.
Well, there's a
There's
a combination, yeah.
It's amazing when you give to somebody from your heart. You're giving. When you do those Periscopes with the Mexican hats and fucking mambo music in the background.
I've been itching to that.
Dog, I'm a fucking cop. You understand me? I'm a criminal. I watch everything. I watch a person. I can watch 10 things at once.
Well, can I say why this whole thing started? Okay. Well, first of all, inspired by you because you are the king of Periscope. Okay, so let's just
Brody Stevens. I come in second. I'm his understudy.
Well, I gotta say this, man. You inspire a lot of people.
Wow, you guys inspire me, man.
And the whole deal is, you know, I'm gotta admit I'm catching up to this because you know I'm in my 40s. I'm gonna use that as an excuse. And at that age, you're just trying to stay above water with all the technology stuff coming up. So I started doing the Periscope thing, but the main thing that I wanted people to be able to ask me questions and me to answer. And it kind of started off that way. And it got to the point where I had a lot of material to work with. Like, okay, cool, I can answer this. All right, I'll answer that. Because what I want people to have the answer to these concepts because realistically, most videos, if they're not flashy, they kind of get overlooked. But the whole thing is the simplicity is why it's successful. The things that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to solve the stuff that happens all the time to people. And there's always an answer. So the whole Periscope thing was intended for people to be able to ask a question and me just route off the answer real quick. And that's what I wanted people to see happen. But, you know, the questions come in a little bit slower and then the jokes go up a little bit higher. So just trying to, you know, someone told me not to be too serious. And then now my daughter's telling me to be a little bit more serious because I'm embarrassing her. So it almost makes me want to try harder to embarrass her, but maybe.
How old are your daughters?
My daughter, Boomerang, Kylie, is 17. Going on.
Do they go on Periscope? Are they watching what you're doing?
I put her on Periscope. I have one of the jiu-jitsu gis is actually named after her, and you know, so I you know have fun with that like any dad would do. I put a little hidden notes and stuff, you know. So sometimes people might be doing a move that's actually named after one of my kids, and they don't realize it, And it's just it's an inside joke, but it's fun, and the people that know about it, they like, oh,
You got to assume. This is any intelligent person, which you're very intelligent. You have to assume that your periscopes, yeah, they inspire a dude like me. But what you're really doing is, there's two guys in South Dakota that are 160 miles from a fucking Brazilian.
Yeah.
Never mind a jiu-jitsu school. You know what I'm saying? And if you say I'm going to do Periscope from 8:30 to 9:30, these guys will put fucking gis on and get mats in their house, and you inspire them like that. You're not doing this for the 300 that you think. It's the 20 people that don't have the gitas, and that comes back to you in spades. If you tell people, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock, after I teach my fucking hour-and-a-half class and get beat up by fucking purple belts and do an armbar 80 times for the 80th fucking time, I'm going to get on here and work with you guys for 30 minutes. You're going to help a lot of people. And it's amazing that 8 years from now, you're going to be at a tournament. Some guy's going to go, you know why I learned that? After you see him tap somebody. And your heart's going to fucking stop. You're going to go, Jesus. I learned that on Periscope. Someday a UFC fighter's going to get his hand raised. Joe Rogan's going to interview him. And where'd you learn that crucifix that way? I've seen it from different variations. Are you Russian? No. Some fucking professor from Bakersfield. Matt fucking Baker BJJ rocking the fucking...
Yeah. Well, that's, it becomes an art, like, going back 20 years, I didn't think it was going to be like this. Yeah, you hit it right on the nail. I just was, and I even had a couple people say some, it's funny because like one guy was telling me, okay, because I had a good moment in class. This is 20 years ago, okay? And then he was, he was one of the guys that was training with me. He goes, okay, you did good, but, you're just not ever going to be great at this. You just got to understand that you're too old. And I wasn't even really old back then, but the whole thing, it was kind of something that I was like, okay, I'm just going to be okay, but the whole thing is that, I'm not saying I'm great now. I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm not trying, that wasn't what I was trying to get at. But what I was basically implying is that 20 years ago, I didn't plan on, things being where they are. And
who the fuck does?
I'm very thankful.
Who the fuck does?
So I didn't even plan on, winning anything or ever having successful moments. But, things have been a blessed, things have been really cool, and I'm thankful for it. So it's more of an art now. Like now I just, now that I have this fun thing, I'm like, how far can I go? So here we are.
And like, because to me, I'm like 5 years in, I guess, to my career. And to think about 20
You're 5 years in your life, cocksucker.
Sure.
For 20 years, they had you under a pillow, rubbing your feet and shit. I got you out here. You're a new animal.
Who wouldn't want foot rubs? But anyways, like...
Eating ziti and brownies.
Who doesn't
made
like
me brownies
food?
with no walnuts. Really? 2,000 miles for fucking brownies.
Nuts ruin brownies.
The fuck out
Trust
of
me,
here.
I eat
Walnuts,
brownies.
a nice
No,
almond in there, something.
Plain brownies.
Some fucking...
Are you crazy?
Crazy.
Walnuts are the worst.
2,000 miles, 2 ways. He comes back with ziti and fucking brownies. You understand?
Yeah, because that's what I want.
You see what? And that's what I want. No clams. There's
Can't
100
bring clams
clams
on a
waiting
plane.
to fucking come to California.
You tell people not to eat hummus. You want me to bring like stinky clams on a plane?
Bro, you get a luggage for $25. You throw it away. You go to Kmart. You get a piece of luggage. You put the clams in there. You put some ice cubes in there. When fucking the people at the airport open up, they're like, this dude is the real motherfucking deal. They don't know what's in your suitcase. They don't give a fuck. It's just 6 hours. You get off the plane, we bring them right to the house, we clam break those things. You show up with ziti and focaccia fucking brownies with no nuts in them and shit. If some kid lived down the blocks with an allergy, he'd even be upset. You know
Nuts ruin brownies. I'll say that till the end. But I can't believe I even remembered what I was going to say. That's just shocking. 15 more years seems crazy. I can't even.
You can't fathom it.
No.
That's what nobody at that age. Listen, 25 years ago, I was fucking lost, guys. I had a wife. I had an 18-month-old kid, maybe. I don't know what she was at the time, maybe 18 months. And I decided to finally get on fucking stage. It took me 6 fucking months, Matt Baker, of calling and canceling. I'm sick. My mother died. My grandmother died. It was horrible. I was so scared.
Yeah, your nerves.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't nerves. You want me to tell you what it was, thinking back? That I got to be honest with you about one thing. I knew it was going to change my life. There was 8% of me. No, I'm lying to you. There was 10% of me that I think I was hoping it would change my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
So
to
were you scared to do it because you were?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You're comfortable. As human beings, we get comfortable. We come in this fucking zone. I just came out of prison. You know, the back of my head, I knew about my history. The back of that, I knew about. I had no future. I had no future, Matt Baker. I knew what I was. And I was hoping that maybe, Matt Baker, just maybe this could at least slow me down if I stop snorting coke 8 nights a week and go to 3. If I stop thinking about robbing people, if I stop thinking about going back to New Jersey and quitting this shit and just becoming a criminal. It was just terrible. And I said something to my wife at the time. And a day later, she goes, I gave the baby to my mother that night, so I'll be able to go with you. We had not been on a date in fucking a year, you know. I was working on a roof in the daytime, and I had just quit my, at night I was working as a doorman at a comedy club. And I gotta tell you, Matt Baker, I hated my fucking life. I was doing everything I could. I was trying Buddhism. I made my confirmation. Who makes their confirmation? I'm in a room every Tuesday night with 10 fucking 10-year-olds. Talking about Jesus like a fucking pervert. All I need is a rain jacket and I get 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. I swear to God. I went back and took CRD study, Catholic Youth Organization, Tuesday nights with a priest and 8 fucking kids that were 10 trying to learn their confirmation. There I am, a big dope.
Sitting at one of like the little kid desks, the little
No, you went to the church and he would talk from the thing, from
Okay.
the pulpit, and you would do the study there, you know. And then Monday nights I would go to, not in the Rope Institute, I keep saying the Rope. I used to go to the Rope for other things on Saturdays, for readings and shit. But on Monday nights I would go up to the mountains to Chautauqua, and they do walking meditation, the stinkiest white people you ever met in your fucking life, okay? They haven't taken showers in years. But at the time, Matt Baker, that's how lost I was. It's funny because today they were talking about how quick the FBI has a thing now, how long it takes to get, what's the word when you go from 0 to 60 and you become a full-out radical? There's a word for the transformation. When you radicalize or something like that. And they were talking about how things have to be happening in your life for something like that to enter and make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you go through a divorce, your kid don't want to talk to you, you know, your dog got hit by a car, your job puts you on part-time, you know, you're weak, all of a sudden you're mad at Hillary, all of a sudden you're mad at Donald Trump, and next thing you know, next thing you know, you're fucking eating the hummus, and some dude's whispering in your ear, I got the answer. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden it sticks. And I can't believe that at that time at my life, nothing was sticking. God forbid 10 people would have showed up with bazookas and said, let's take over a country because your life's not going to... I mean, that's how weak I was mentally, looking back at that. And as much as I hate this woman, I thought about how she put me on the spot. She had already made a commitment to give the kid to her mother, and she had already made plans. She was excited. So now my balls were held to the wall, guy. I couldn't back out now. So at that moment, I fucking ran that Judy Carter book, and I wrote fucking 3 minutes of material. And I still remember driving down there, what we drove, you know, what I felt like, because I knew I was going to walk through a new fucking door. But I didn't want to, in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to. And Matt Woods was the headliner that night. It was an open mic. And
I was going to ask you if you still remember, like, your whole...
Not even close at that time. It was something about Godzilla. I think something stupid about him coming out of the Hudson. I think. I'm not even sure at that time if I had developed that. And I went up there for 3 minutes, and when I got off, I got great applauses. And the owner of the club said I had good presence and that I had to work at my material. And then Matt Woods came over. He was a Long Island guy. And he was like, keep coming back here. There's something there, you know. And I remember leaving there like in shock. Like physical, psychological, spiritually, like I had arrived. Like I got baptized. That was it.
Were you worried you were going to bomb? Is that what you were most worried about? Or were you worried that you were going to do well?
I was worried I was going to find the answer to all my problems. And while I was there, before I left, some guy got me a gig for $5.
Thank that guy.
And I went and did that gig and did well. And then I was just walking on a cloud. Now I didn't know what to do or how to do it. I just knew what I wanted to do. So I went up again in August at a Denver Bronco function, but John Elway didn't show up. So it was just the other fucking Broncos, some rookies and shit up in Greeley. It stunk like death up there. But the guy got me 2 gigs. I did that gig, then I got another gig for like $50. So it was just really amazing. And then in September was when I cracked. And my wife said, you should go back to New York and see what you want to do. And I went to New York, and I went to do comedy, but I didn't do comedy one time. I did everything but fucking comedy. And I went to the clubs at night and just watched the open mics, and it scared the fuck out of me. I went back to Colorado, and then as I got to Colorado, the local paper had a contest, a comedy contest. And how can I not go down? People were calling me up, going, hey, man, go down there. And I'm like, fuck. Fuck.
Do you think it was a mistake to go to New York? Should you have just stayed in Colorado?
For those 2 weeks? No, I had not been back to New York for 6 years. It's really weird how your life works out. I had not been back to New York for 6 years. I was turned off completely. I didn't want to go back to Jersey. I never wanted to see those people again. But at that point, I was so fucking lost. I said, let me go back there and walk those streets. I ended up going back, kind of hooking up with my stepfather, seeing my friends, and then I broke the news to them, and they kind of laughed in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to try stand-up comedy, and they were like, oh, that's great. Do another line of coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were just partying then, and all of a sudden I dropped it on them. And I went back home in that contest, and I won the first round. I think I won the second round, and then I got my wife. I went home one afternoon, and my wife had found a loan, Matt Baker, that I took, but I paid real quick. It was to flip a car, and she wanted to get separated. And I was like, Matt Baker, I heard, you know, those when you see movies and Jesus shows up, you hear those organs and shit. It was something like, I love my child, but this was what was in my way the whole time. I knew it. I knew I didn't want to be fucking married. Not to her. There was nothing there. There was nothing there. It was 2 kids who evolved and became something else, and then realized this ain't for me for the rest of our lives. But now we got this kid, and then whatever happened, happened. But this whole week I've been struggling with the fact that I don't know what made me stuck with it. Like, when she left, I was fucking brokenhearted, and I just kept getting on stage. Then I met girls, and I did drugs, but next thing you know, I was getting calls for gigs, guys. Not big money gigs, but not like the Improv. I mean, fucking Lee, you would giggle. The play. Jimmy Abate used to get me fucking gigs everywhere for $40.
Like at bars or something?
Like a bar. But I had gotten to every Tuesday night for the first year. This is what saved me. Every Tuesday night I had to go on stage and come up with new material. That saved me. I had that job for 18 months. That turned me into that kind of, that's like going somewhere 2 times a week and rolling for an hour with a black belt. You'll get good because there's certain things you got to do in that room. It's the same fucking customers. It's the same people. It was $15.95 and you got a steak and a baked potato and fucking you got a comedy ticket. Same type of people went every week to get the fucking $15.95 steak because it was really a $30 steak during the week.
So that's a lot of pressure because if you're not coming up with something new, you're going to let you have it.
Lee, I remember one time I put on the Madonna cones way before you even thought in your dad's pants. This is 19. When were you born?
88.
Oh, so you were 5. Madonna was huge in 92. But she did one song where she had cones on her titties. Yeah. Remember that? And I came out with the cones.
Please tell me you have a picture, because
no,
that would be great.
Of me or Madonna?
No, not Madonna. Please, come on.
No, I came out with the cones on my tits. Oh, okay. It was just a year, and what saved me was that my friends would come to the show, and they would giggle. I had a really, I knew people. I lived in Boulder. I went to prison in Boulder. You know what I'm saying? So people, I knew motherfuckers, dog.
I went to prison in Boulder.
I did. That's where they locked me up. You want me to lie to you? It's just the things that we stick with.
So, do people? Well, okay. So, in the process of writing now, this is kind of interesting. So, how do you come up with material now? I mean, was it observational?
Observational.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of. It would seem like the more you're exposed to stuff, the easier it probably gets, right?
Well, you know what,
you
man?
have so many stories, and it's just kind of like, okay, the suckier your life is, probably the easier it is to come up with stuff.
Well, yeah, because you have to humor yourself. So you look at things from a different perspective. It's like last week, the fucking gorilla. You know, everybody made, you know, I was thinking about that fucking gorilla, you know what? Look at that gorilla. He ain't a normal gorilla. That's a retarded gorilla. Like, he ain't right. If you have kids and you go to a zoo in the country right now, you got fucked up gorillas. I'm telling you, I've been telling people on stage. They're all, China gets the best gorillas. China pays top dollar for gorillas for 15 mil, 20 mil, so they get the best. And the reason why these are endangered is because they're retarded. There's not a lot of them left. That's why they're in danger, because we got the retarded fucking apes.
Where do
they stick their finger in their ass and sniff it in front of your 10-year-old. How do you explain that to your 10-year-old?
Yeah,
they throw shit at each other. Those are retarded gorillas, dog. Gorillas are intelligent. You ever see a lion in a zoo? He's been shot 2 times. They got him in his bush. He got flies everywhere. Go to fucking China. Look at the fucking lions in China. They're combed. They got nice teeth. Everybody's fucking happy. You're crazy. We get bummy fucking animals. We get bummy fucking animals. Go to the LA Zoo. Go to the LA Zoo.
I haven't even been.
Oh, first off, it's all uphill. So you got to be Johnny fucking shape to go to the LA Zoo. You got to be in shape. Or you got to take a train that goes a mile an hour. You rather shoot yourself. And then they play the same fucking song over and over with some dude, you know, who's getting $6.50 an hour. And he's about ready to take that train back to Mexico. You can tell. He's like, I'm taking this train back to Mexico.
Okay, so he's Mexican?
I don't know. He could be anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Right,
he could be anything, but it's a fucking. My wife's like, I gotta keep you gotta keep your eyes open at the zoo, because I'll tell you what, I'm not even a terrorist, and there's times I go to the zoo and I want to shoot everybody. I swear to God, the apes, because they're all fucked up at those zoos.
I went to the zoo in Big Bear, and it's all animals that have been like rescued. So like this is like a 3-legged bear. It's like it was kind of crazy. But did you know this was actually really weird? China owns all pandas. Even if a panda is born here, China owns it.
But guess what? Even that panda's fucked up. I guarantee the pandas we got over here, they're all fucked up. The pandas they got over there are nice. They fucking smell like cotton. I don't know, Matt Baker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell you how.
That was pretty. Yeah, man. So just good perspective. So
no, it's true. You have to look at things. Sometimes I look at things because I know we're getting bullshitted. You gotta assume 70% of the media is bullshitting you, scaring you, you know. Listen, when the report first came out of Orlando, he had called, whatever, and then it got deeper and deeper and deeper. God knows. God knows. You sit there and you sit there yesterday. I sat there for 45 minutes watching CNN, you know, thinking about people I know and I don't know and situations. I mean, Felipe was there.
Right? Yeah, he
doing
was.
comedy. Joey Filato was there in Orlando at the fucking resort. I have
an aunt who lives there.
And, you know, Damon's father's there. God, that's like somebody shooting somebody down the corner like that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't, guys, you can't, when a person dies, you could feel that person's spirit in the neighborhood for a couple of days before that person gets buried. That person's not going to fucking leave. You could feel it in the air. Something's wrong. When my mom died, it rained for a few days in Jersey. Cloudy weather, you could feel it. Then the sun comes out and everything moves. Can you imagine what that smells like over there right now with the gunpowder? And you could smell the death in the air. If any city doesn't deserve that, if you've ever been to Orlando, I mean, listen, it's not Johnny Glam, whatever, but fucking Disneyland. There's kids that have to see all those cops. It's just a horrible fucking disaster, you know, what's going on right now. But it's the world we're evolving to, and there's nothing you can do. Where's Tony Bennett? You got him set?
Oh, we haven't been doing it.
See what I'm saying? You're fucking slipping here. This is a perfect Tony Bennett time.
I apologize.
I don't know what you're thinking.
We haven't been doing Tony Bennett.
I know. You've been slipping lately. That's what I'm saying. You do a Star of Death. You think about Ziti. Matt Baker, it's very great to have you on here today.
It's a privilege to be here, man. So
It takes balls.
Well,
here we go. Do a little swing and pop. Let me see you move. Make believe you got the fucking hat on, though, baby.
I can't wear the hat now.
You had 2 other buddies.
Because you're watching.
I'm watching.
Yeah,
you don't think I watch. You think I'm some fucking Johnny come lately. I've got to pay attention.
Pedro's got another plan.
Pedro's got plan B.
Yeah. No.
I like the music in the Periscope.
Oh.
One Periscope, you told him to turn it down.
Man, well,
It sounded good.
No, I have. It's all inspired. It's all for a purpose.
You got a good idea, and I know where your heart is. So it's like what made you come up with that name?
Well, the whole. See, this is the whole deal. When back to 20 years ago, never really thought I was going to get anywhere with jiu-jitsu. It was just something I was hoping to do. And, I had my moments where things were good and things were bad. But the irony is that when I had the best moments is when my actual body declined. And, I had a neck injury. And that neck injury was something that I was kind of encouraged not to do jiu-jitsu anymore. So it was like, well, I think you should stop, and that's really not an option when you have a school. There's just no way you're going to, be able to not roll. So concepts that kind of were forced. I just basically was pushed, I think all good things, happen for a reason. And, it was one of these things where my neck was giving me a lot of problems. And it was forcing me basically to use my brain more. So a lot of concepts I started using basically to get by for, the lack of ability of being physical. So, I mean, I've never been a natural athlete. I would never say, like, all the years of jiu-jitsu, no one ever said that I was strong or I was, very, athletic or whatever. So, not that I was ever physical, but the better moments where I actually was healthy and I was in better shape, I would have some wins, some losses. And then, every once in a while things were, there was some good moments. But then what ended up happening was, it got to the point where I really couldn't even do a push-up because this neck was bothering me, which, the same thing like Chris Weidman, what he's going through, so I guess he's got to get surgery.
He had it, right? He had it.
It's a pretty common thing because, wrestlers, they're pushing with their neck. And I would say I was actually probably being more physical in my earlier, ways of playing jiu-jitsu. But being forced to rearrange your movement, it actually opened up a whole new perspective as far as... And to be honest with you, it wasn't like all of a sudden at once. It was like accumulatively, probably over the last 5, maybe even, I think, it's been a while, but years I was like, I remember when I used to do this. And this was easier for me, and I didn't really, I didn't really have a bad moment when I was playing this way. And then I had another season, because you have these moments where things are going well for you, and then things are going bad. And it really what it boils down to is it's trial and error. It's a situation where you're every time you're rolling, you're basically, if you're playing correctly, you're seeing what works and what doesn't work. And when my body failed, my brain was kind of forced to kick in, and then that's where these concepts came in that, I said, well, this isn't really something that's physical. It's not really something that's that I'm going to have to go lift weights to do. And slowly but surely, I started getting encouragement from some close people and friends and everything, and, we have a certain way that we're doing stuff that's kind of different. So that's where this kinesiology-based movement and ways of playing, came about. So you start getting all this information, and and I also ref too. I've been refing for probably 10 years.
That's what I was going to ask you. That there's a
so
picture of you reffing, and that's another reason why I know you're not fucking around because you're looking at it from more perspectives.
Yeah,
I know you're reffing
10
going,
hours.
look at that guy putting his leg there.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And you want to even yell, take that on, take it.
No, I've actually done that. Like at these tournaments, I'm like, you know what? And because sometimes your heart goes out to these people because they're so good at jiu-jitsu. Like some people are, if you want to be, if you want to be amazed by jiu-jitsu, watch juveniles, watch kids, because you get a kid that's been training since he's 12 years old, but he's been training since he's 5. That's 7 years. 7 years of a heart that won't stop. No physical, they're flexible. I mean, they don't have no physical hangups. They're not sore. They go constantly. And then when they start doing moves, they move. Some of them move so efficiently. It's like they are more entertaining than adults. I mean, that's a very, I'm not the first person that said that, but I was reffing at a tournament yesterday, all day. Saw amazing matches. I'm like, goodness. So sometimes you see people do amazing jiu-jitsu and still lose, but the reason why is not because of, a skill issue. It's because their approach, because they move too much. They didn't position themselves. They were going from one thing to another, to another, to another. And realistically, when it comes right down to it, sometimes the best thing is not to move. The best thing is just to chill out. You have a position. Don't do one thing if it's not going to just be for you. If you're moving, but it gives them a chance, then that's kind of the biggest thing with jiu-jitsu. Like, I basically have a lot of moves that somewhat are simple, but the whole purpose of, when you have someone in 11 and 2, what opportunities are you giving them? We went over that, and we just briefly went over.
I've had lighter guys tap now, just from the 11 to 2, if I do it correctly. If they're moving a lot, it's so weird how sometimes you go to a class and you have an answer, and I put you on, and you just gave me the answer. One day I left hand, I didn't do something right, and it was that I didn't hold the power with the hand. And then I watched that tape, and I went to class the next day, and I got into 11 to 2, and I shifted my hip, and as soon as I shifted my hip, Lee, he put his hand up to push. Boom, I trapped it. Now I had to pull him up. Now I trapped it, and I settled there. And now I got like a steak.
Yeah.
I stayed there, and I settled. I didn't go to pull the arm or pick him up. I picked one leg up slowly.
See, that's the point I'm getting at. It's like, what would have happened if you picked up the arm and threw your leg over the head, and then fell back for the arm? Would that have given him a window to maybe get out?
Absolutely.
That's the whole point.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
So I look at the whole thing.
Once I grab your arm, I'm so excited, I'm huffing and puffing myself into anxiety. Do you understand?
Yeah,
me? And that's what you learn. You learn to calm yourself down, get a good grip on it, get your handle right, and this is what I'm applying to comedy.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough. Every time I go somewhere on a weekend, listen, this week I went to Omaha. Friday, first show, I was Menza Morte. Friday, second show, I was a little better. Saturday, first show, I was really good. But Saturday, second show, it was fucking different level. Different fucking level comedy. And I didn't like the weekend. I knew I was going to have a problem on Friday because I didn't get up on stage on Thursday. They didn't have a Thursday. If I would have got on stage Thursday, I would have done an hour, loosened up, see what parameters I could push, and then take it from there. My point being that Saturday night, I was doing jiu-jitsu on stage. It was really weird. I kept catching myself in different situations, but I was breathing my way out of them.
That's cool. That's
once
cool.
you read all these things about if you control your relaxation, you control your fear. Fucking hey, you do. Fucking hey, you do. And Dr. Belize is coming back in a few weeks. Like in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm trying to nail it down. She's coming, but she wants to come back on about acid reflux. But it was so weird doing her thing. She was talking about if you just shut your mouth and relax your jaw and breathe out of your nose, automatically it lowers your blood pressure and something else she was saying.
That's
it's fucking
huge.
amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And when somebody my size is laying on you, that's all you got to do is breathe it out a little bit. Wait till I go for an arm. Wait for me to make a mistake, basically. You're not going to move me. You're just going to burn yourself out moving me.
Yeah.
You might get a little better position, but by that time, you're huffing and puffing. I'm just laying on you even more in side control,
See, those type of concepts, though, they don't happen on accident. It's like observation, experience. Like, see, the whole jiu-jitsu, I don't even... the funny thing is I still have a hard time explaining if it's a system or, what... And that's the whole deal.
It's your art.
Yeah,
it's the art that you made to work
exactly.
for you. And you know what? Some kid who's 22 might go to your school. He'll love you, Professor Baker, but he wants to do flying fucking barambolos. And I know in some of you, like in the 101 leg lock, you go into a Z guard. I'm lost. Once you go into a Z guard and stuff like that, I'm 25 years old. I'm 6'1", 185. I got aspirations, but I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
And you get those guys. They have aspirations, but I'm not telling you. When I walk in here for the first time, I'm just an office guy. I'm just bumbling along life. Meanwhile, I'm jerking off every time he sees Randy Couture. Yeah. So he comes in. No, it's the truth. Hey, listen, man. Yeah. I was jerking off when I'd see Eddie Murphy was coming to town. It's the same concept. I went to see Jerry Seinfeld, and you come in, and next thing you know, maybe Professor, he wants to do... Barambolos and more X guards and more flying through the fucking air. And he's gonna last 6 months, and he's gonna take something from what you learned, but he wants to go to something like that. Everybody has a different style.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different. You know, when you're a kid, you take Shotokan, you take Ishinryu, you take Gushinryu, you take Russian-ryu, you take Okinawa, you take. And you know what? At the end of the fucking week, you're doing the same punches and the same fucking kicks. What you're learning is what that guy learned from his 20 years of experience. And he cut the fat out of a lot of shit because he knows what the percentage rate is. The first time you and I spoke, you spoke about something that you talked to me. I'm a basketball player. Listen, a dunk is 100% move. When I'm a team, I'm in Africa looking for 7'8" dudes. Listen, come here. All I want you to do is get the ball and slam it, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna give you $20 million a year. You can bring the whole family over. No more shooting people for milk.
No sky hooks.
Okay? No more nothing. We're gonna fucking do this right. No sky hooks. I just want you to take the ball, and who's ever in front of you, I want you to slam it like they're coming to shoot your family for diamonds. Okay? That's it. Yeah. This is fucking it. So that's what when you spoke to me that morning about percentage, I go, oh, this fucking guy is coming at me from my language now.
Well, I'd see the whole thing is I want people that are look. One guy came up. One of my buddies, Justin, one of the students, training partners, I'm gonna call him. He said, "Betas unite," and it was so funny because the concepts of jiu-jitsu, you know, they're good for everybody. I mean, if you're an athlete, so be it, you know. But what I don't want people to feel is that they have to do CrossFit or they have to lift weights or they have to do a bunch of athletic training to be good at jiu-jitsu. Because there is a way to move that negates all of the strength and all the athleticism of somebody. And
I'm laughing, Professor, not laughing at you.
No, I saw something.
I'm laughing because I tell you what, Professor. Okay, so tomorrow
well, I'm sorry about kettlebells.
I send Lee Syatt to you tomorrow.
Okay.
I want you to look at Lee Syatt. Lee Syatt wrestled in high school. You look at Lee Syatt.
Not well. Yeah, that's
an appropriate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He's not convincing me that he wrestled.
You still did the drills, and you still threw your little fucking alligator feet over people and shit. And you climbed on them like this is fucking the Wild Wild Kingdom. What my point is, Lee Syatt, is that I used to roll with Lee just to breathe. Okay, if Lee takes you down on a takedown, and by mistake, because this kid wouldn't hurt himself, he lands with that fucking little Auschwitz shoulder of his. I think they threw these Jews on their shoulders, and their shoulders got stronger over civilization. When this motherfucker lands on you, Lee, how many times did I tap when you landed on me? Dog, he's a bull. His shoulder would go into your solar plexus, and you'd see saints and shit. Okay, so when you see this kid, okay, now look at him. Lee's a strong kid, but look, I love you to death, Matt Baker, but if you're going to spend hours teaching him a reverse choke, his fucking legs, he got the legs of a fucking fidget. He's not going nowhere. He can't even wrap his legs around nobody. So let's teach him to move. Like Bruce Lee said. What's the easiest thing for him? Take the dude down, shove that shoulder in his thing, spin him around, grab that lower arm, and Kimura. Just put him in the corner. Yeah, for a month you teach him how to choke, but you're wasting your time. His percentage of getting that choke with his legs before the guy grabs that alligator foot and panics and taps is fucking quick, okay? If he grabs you from the back, he will pop your head off your shoulders. Lee's a strong motherfucker. He's young. When he grab you by the gi and shit, just manhandle you.
But I have T-Rex arms. I can't choke anybody.
No. But those arms are jiu-jitsu perfect. Ain't nobody arm barring you. They got to bring stilts to fucking armbar you, unless they got an extension. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody armbarring you. So that's a nightmare. The only thing they can do is Kimura you. Good luck. Good luck if you hold on to that little Kimura arm. Look at it. Your arm is anti-jiu-jitsu. They can't grab. Look at those things. So Lee has strengths. And that's the beauty about jiu-jitsu. Lee's not going to choke you out with that, but Lee's going to get 2 moves. And you know what, Lee? You're going to win the worlds with those 2 moves.
I like Neon Belly with like those classic.
Oh yeah, your Neon Belly with that little knee too. I don't know what they did over there, but they toughened those joints up over DNA. I don't know what they did. You bad motherfucker, you. But it's so weird that that's what you've created. You've created a system that's very 1, 2, 3, and if you do this just like this is going to happen eventually.
Yeah, going back to that the young kid that wants to do the fancier moves. There's a lot of training partners that I have that they do that, but simplicity is where you're going to find your success. And part of the problem with the modern jiu-jitsu game is it's based on your grips. Your arm, it's like a chain. So this is one link, your elbow is the other link, your fingers are the smallest links. So, let's just break it down to a science. If you had to carry something really heavy, what part of the chain is going to fail you?
The fingers.
So why play a game against an athlete that is amazing, that's going to be relying on the smallest part, the smallest links of the chain? So, and that's kind of a simple thing that with a lot of people that play that's what I just try to tell them. So that's going to be, so if you're going to play that game, you got to know when to cut and run when it's not working. Quit doing the same thing when the person's moving too much. First of all, when they're standing up, they have a lot of mobility. Guard players have the advantage because they have 4 limbs pointed up, as opposed to someone on top who just has 2 that, realistically, you're not even supposed to be reaching. So that's the reason why jiu-jitsu's turned into a guard player's game, because there's so many guard concepts. But at the same time, there was a meme that just came out. Someone put it out with the Jaws eating the guy when he's on a boat. Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah, and it was basically
I saw that.
When playing open guard goes wrong, but realistically, there's so many dynamics when you play open guard, when you play these, so Jiu-Jitsu has concepts that, what I was going to say is a couple of those flashing moves that I put, there's going to be a 2-part process. I showed, a leg lock recently called the 661, but, a lot of people kindly,
the 101 is beautiful.
Yeah, the 101 is simple.
You're simple,
yeah. And you're not giving. Normally, that would be a bad move. See, because one of the biggest traits of jiu-jitsu is every move that you do counts for you, not them. And if you're doing a move that gives them an opportunity, then that's not a true move. And that's one of the things that that's a reason why things are scaled down to simplicity. That's the reason why it's mostly the most important position for you to get is taking someone's back. So the deeper, someone goes into these jiu-jitsu concepts, that's generally where I'm going to take them. I'm going to say, this is where we want to be. We want to take someone's back, or we want to Kimura them. But right after the Kimura is the back take. That would be the next phase of where that. Joe, if we end up back in that situation again, that's the next thing we're going over is how to take the back. And Jiu-Jitsu magazine, actually, that was one of the other techniques on from that move that we went over. But what I want people to understand is that it's not based on strength or athleticism, just like the 11 and 2 position, that we have from there. You don't have to be strong. Lee could do it. Lee, I promise you would find success with it, and I think he would,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
Lee.
so
Lee, it's changed completely. I'm not focusing on his hip anymore. That's the big difference. Once I pass that hip, I don't see it again. I'm not focused on him. It's a lot harder for him to retain his guard. He's got to go 138 fucking degrees compared to 6 degrees. No. It's not going to happen.
The match should end with either you keeping him there or you tapping him.
And if I get his head looking the other way with this side of my gut, it's lights out. Yeah. He's stuck there for a couple minutes. Unless he's a high-level blue belt. I've been thrown to the other way. Not yet. But I've struggled with them. They've gained position some way or outlasted me or whatever. But that's the concept.
We need the next chapter.
Yeah,
because we've only gone over we only went over 1 page of it.
Yeah, not even. So, I know you got 29 fucking pages.
I just didn't want to saturate with you these video clips like that. Figured I need to hands-on experience.
All that stuff really.
Yeah, so much. There's only so much I can see on these videos that I'm putting out. To be honest with you, I'm not putting out. Like most of them are a minute and a half because I've done longer videos in the past with the other projects I've done, and people they kind of lose their attention when it's 3 minutes long. It's like it's too much. But when I do little snippets, I'm trying to build I'm trying to take them down a road that will build up a game for them. And the thing is that just like with 11 and 2, there's a lot of positions from guard that are the same. Like they're just is ironclad, they're not going to get out. Once you have them here, and that's the whole deal. Once you have them there, then it's like, okay, don't move a bunch. Just what you want is you want someone when you approach them and when you roll with them, as soon as you make contact, you connect, and that's just it. like they're already in trouble.
You taught this thing on one of the videos where even if they sweep you, you have
Disconnect.
momentum. Disconnect.
Yeah, see, because a lot,
very interesting.
See, there's connection is not. People are starting to get that more, but there's also disconnection, and in the whole jiu-jitsu library of things, it's not about any one particular thing. It's about all of them. Connection, disconnection, framing, course pressure, course leverage. It's all of the elements that you hear about jiu-jitsu, because there's many things that you do in the game. That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. It's so dynamic, but you got to know when to do them at the right time, because that's where a lot of these people lose matches. And I've, like I was saying earlier, I've actually like talked to someone and match is done. I go, man, you know what? You're awesome. Please don't stop. Because they're like heartbroken, because you can tell they worked so hard. They put their life on hold for 2 months for this tournament, and then they still came up short. And it was like, you know what? You are so good. You're actually better than the other guy, but you just did too much. You should have stopped right there. You went to your mom and dad. You asked for $20. They said yes. So then you kicked it up to $50, and now they said, "I forget it. You're not getting nothing." And that's what you did. You just took it a little too far. Less is more. And like I said earlier, it's like. I think if I didn't have that, this hiccup with my neck, which I've managed to figure out more now, I probably would still be trying to like crush people and slam people and force moves.
So it was a blessing.
Yeah.
Like when Bruce Lee in the movie. Remember the movie? They fucking made that story up. He was in the hospital crippled, and he wrote the book upside down and shit. Well, that's what you did. You took a bad situation and you turned it into something good, which some people give up. Some people turn to something else. That's the impressive thing. And you came up with that. No. I watch your videos, and it's so weird how for the last 2 years, my secret hobby is watching jiu-jitsu videos. I go from watching matches, I like Haji Gracie's matches against the guy up in Romulo, and that's one of my favorite matches because it really taught me the real spirit of jiu-jitsu. It's very slow, and it's a pressure game. And before I lose this fucking weight, you got to use this weight. And after you do jiu-jitsu 10 years, a guy that weighs 120 should weigh 200 on you if he's doing the right fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Henry Atkins tape.
Yeah.
Last week, he talks about a pressure game or something like that. The lady, Dr. Belize, sent me one of his videos. She goes, "Look at this pressure game thing. Everybody has a different art. I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with." I look at you guys and I try to connect comedy to that, like how you're holding our attention through jiu-jitsu. You know how hard that is for some people to actually watch somebody teach a move? There's 1,000 arm bars. Type in arm bar on YouTube. There's got to be 2,000 fucking pages of arm bars. And your videos stick out because you've broke it down to a layman term. Like, my God, I don't know what they're talking about with wrestling. I have no idea.
531,000 videos.
On the arm bar.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you about this fucking art? Let's pretend some of them are doubles.
Oh, yeah, and some of them are like...
Let's pretend some of them are triples.
One of this is like a crazy girl.
Let's give it a low number. Let's say 100,000 variations. There's 1,000 white, Chinese, Brazilians, Martians, people translating their armbar.
Well, the hidden art of this game, that we're talking about, is to do stuff that people don't understand, that they don't see. They don't. It's hard. The jiu-jitsu stuff. Do you think that I could have, if I hadn't grabbed and showed you the move or kind of position it, do you think you would have caught on to it without feeling it?
No.
That's the thing. It's it's so hard to translate stuff on video, and that's the other thing that I'm, that I notice. It's I'm putting videos out that one may not be the flashiest, so may get overlooked, but I think the people that are maybe, paying attention to it are the ones that are wanting results. They're wanting results and they're wanting to get past problems that they're running into. That realistically, I've been there. That's a whole.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. When you talk about percentage, okay, percentage jiu-jitsu, so we can break this down for people at home. What's the best submission of the year this year? There's been two.
Yeah, well,
One of them has been Nate Diaz, and what's the other one? Holly Holmes got submitted.
it's an RNC. Yeah,
All right.
That's where everything should be going.
You know, the rear naked choke. It went back to the Jiu-Jitsu 101.
Well, the three most famous performances that I use as an example, and I hate to name drop, but the whole thing is. So when I'm talking to my students, this is what I tell them: if you're not going to listen to me, and that's fine, because every once in a while you'll see younger guys that just kind of like, oh gosh, here we go back to the back takes, and I go, look at. What was that? What was the most iconic person in jiu-jitsu? What's his main thing he does? Well, what do you see Hickson do? Oh, a lot of pictures of him taking the bag. Whenever Jean Jacques had his greatest performance, what was he doing? Abu Dhabi, what did he do? What's his iconic picture? Oh, he's taking someone's bag. And then that young kid that now is considered pound for pound the best in the world. What was he doing? What did he do in Abu Dhabi? And this is, and then you have people that are like, well, gi, no gi, what works? You take someone's back and you choke them, and that's Marcelo Garcia was the third one. So so that's the whole deal, But realistically, it's not going to be. It's not something that has to be complicated, and the more complicated you make it, the more physical you make it. So.
Look at Lee. He's on Planet Jiu-Jitsu right now. Look at him. He hasn't been that high in fucking weeks.
No,
I'm good.
True.
I was wondering what. Your most common questions are that people get, because when I started jiu-jitsu, even though I had a small wrestling background, I really had no knowledge at all. So I would have had 1,000 questions. So what do you get most questions about?
Usually how to get out of submissions, how to get out of bad positions, like I'm stuck in a mount, or how do you get out of a guillotine? How do you, what? So I think because when people first start training, they feel frustrated in the sense of they're getting beat up a lot. But, there's certain simple things that you can do that realistically they negate everything that, you're having to deal with. So if you're in someone's guard, probably one of the simplest things to do is never put your hands above their belt line. Because if your hands aren't above their belt, then you're out of range of their attacks. Like all the submissions that people do, it's from things that are in front of someone. Like if you are looking at someone, you're in their guard, and when you put your hands on the belt,
right,
that's going to keep your posture away to the point where they can't reach your neck enough to choke it. And
so a lot of people go for the arms or the underhooks, and you're saying that's a mistake.
Well, if you're the top, I think what happens is a lot of people when they first start in jiu-jitsu, they end up in someone's guard, and the person arm bars them, or triangles them, or cross chokes them, or does all those things. But all of those things that they run into, all of those attacks, they're only happening because they're in what we call the strike zone.
Okay.
So the strike zone is the area from the person's belt to their chest. And if you put your hands anywhere in that area, then you are in target range for them to attack your neck, or pull your arm across and go for the arm, or pull one over and go for a triangle. So, that's one concept. Just simple strike zone, and that negates all the attacks that everyone can do from your guard. The other thing is, the positioning of your arms, the way you have your arms framed. But if someone does the strike zone, and then if that fails, they frame their arms, then, they're not getting caught. It's just the percentage rate of all the submissions drop down to 10%. So, as a matter of fact, most of the time, when the person's going for the submission, they open up their guard, and that gives the person an opportunity to go for a pass. So that's the other thing. You not only want to shut down or negate their opportunities to attack, but you want every attack that they do to be an opportunity for you to pass their guard. Because when the legs are apart, the guard is open. The windows are open. The only thing is that people, they maybe just don't get how their arm is. Because if I go underneath one of your legs, but I leave my arm out reaching, or it's slow, then the person's going to pull my arm, and I'm back in trouble again. Right. So the simple fundamentals of jiu-jitsu, they negate so many things. I look at it like this. If you have a bunch of blocks and you stack them up, I'm not trying to knock all of them. I want to get the one at the bottom and pull that one, and then all the other ones fall on its own. So, from being in bad situations at tournaments, and I'll admit it, I've been put to sleep, in front of 20 students, and I learned how cross choke works from that.
Listen, If
I'll
you
never
don't get
forget
put
that.
to sleep, you can't put people to sleep.
Yeah,
You
well,
know, that's what people.
Yeah.
You know, I put athletes on here before, fighters. You know, and I like all of them, but I'm very intrigued with jiu-jitsu and the what are those people that fucking the translation of jiu-jitsu? It's either you, Eddie Bravo, Marcelo Garcia, and for a guy like me that I would never believe I'd walk into a jiu-jitsu place because I hate feet. And I hate the smell of rotten ass and all that shit and people sweating on me. I don't even like broad sweating on me. The only sweat I want on me is monkey sweat. That's it. No other sweat do I want on Uncle Joey. But something about it intrigued me. And the reason why I have high-level jiu-jitsu guys on the show is because, you know, it showed me so many of my weaknesses at an age when I didn't know I had these weaknesses in so many levels, mentally, physically, and it made me work harder. It made me drink more water. It made me make up. This morning I had a meeting. I skipped breakfast. I had a protein smoothie with fucking fruit with almond milk. And then I went to my meeting. Usually I would have eggs at the house and bacon.
Yeah, you make that almond milk protein. Yeah.
It tastes like ass. If you want me to sit here and tell you, every day is like I'm shooting fucking dice. I don't know what I'm doing. Some
You
days
sell
I
it so good. I almost
but
was gonna get
if you
some.
put the fresh fruit in, it tastes like ass.
Yeah.
If you put the fresh fruit in and you put the ice in and you smell the blender, you're like, Jesus Christ, what are they putting in these fucking raspberries and bananas?
Man, you.
So you got to mix it up a little bit. I
Okay.
take a couple CBD drops in my tongue to strengthen my bones. You know, I take a little baby aspirin to get my heart going. These are all the things I was not doing before jiu-jitsu as a 50-year-old. I was not looking at these little things. It opened up a world of weaknesses for me that I had to conquer for me to even make it to 60, which is breathing, anxiety. In the world we live in today, brother, what if two-ton Tony Uncle Joey Diaz, after not washing his ass, after snorting coke for fucking 4 weeks, jumps you from the bushes and gets on top of you. And you don't even know what's going on in today's world with everything that's going into your fucking psyche. You know, if you know how to breathe and you lay on the floor and breathe it out and know that he doesn't have a knife, you have control of his leg.
Yeah.
Something to give you a little security. Lee, we had a discussion yesterday. What did you tell me? What did you tell me you were doing this week?
Looking to get a gun? Is
Yeah,
that- yeah. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Every American this morning woke up and reevaluated his life, what weapon they should get. To me, between you and me, I would walk into a jiu-jitsu school today and reevaluate that weapon because that's going to be the most important weapon. You know what? If it's not jiu-jitsu, if you don't want to lay on the floor with fat dudes, walk into a karate school. Walk into a fucking any type of martial art that'll teach you when you hear that bullet to drop to the floor, breathe, hold on to your loved one, and maybe it'll get you out of that situation. Because I hope it doesn't keep happening. I hope it doesn't happen here at home. But as a smart American, you have to assume it could happen at any time. You have to be unprepared now, guys.
They almost had an incident, right?
Yeah.
Just
This kid came in from Indiana.
Yeah.
Some 20-year-old confused looking to suck dick with a fucking grenade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of fucking
He was
guns.
looking to walk into a temple and say, "Take my asshole. I'll give you all the weapons." That poor fucking bastard. His gay pride. Shove that Arab dick in my muffler. Let me give some shout outs and get my fucking master out of here. Ethan Buzzard always dropping knowledge. Sam Vega, Jeff Talaman, Tina Shendini's, Andrew Nandal up there in Nyack holding it down. Kenny Schaefer, Dead Squad ME, John Cutler, my main man, fucking Ookie Spooky, Preaky Weepy, her cousin, you know, everybody. I love you cocksuckers. Hope you're doing well. I'm happy you came on today, dog. This was great.
This is a dream come true.
This was fucking
You know?
tremendous.
See, yeah, like if I die tomorrow, I'm happy.
Yeah, no. I wanted you. You know, man, just you impressed the fuck out of me. You impressed the fuck out of me because we were talking earlier about bad martial arts schools and good martial arts schools and what you should be getting from them. And again, I'm going on the spectrum here. I'm going on the spectrum between whether you want to join karate, Syatt, Muay Thai, sometimes you go in there to get in shape, which is what I like going. But I also start going over there to overcome my fears. I had so much fear of jiu-jitsu, being on the bottom and not knowing how to get out of the mount and what am I going to do. And now I know at least to breathe, and I throw my arm over and spin, and I throw him off balance, and I'm working with a deep half. I have a path now, and I think once you have a path, it gives you more confidence, but it gives you more confidence outside that. Like I'd say 1,000 times a day. I'm a little older, and by the time 5 o'clock comes, I'm shot. My mind, is out there. I got a wife, the kid, the whole fucking podcast. What weekend? Where am I going? I got to get a plane ticket. I can't do jiu-jitsu at night. But what I really like about going in the daytime is that when I walk out of there, my day has changed. My outlook has changed. Whatever I thought was going to be a struggle is no longer a struggle, because the toughest thing I'm going to do I just did. 10 hip escapes is fucking murder. You know what I'm saying? Would I rather get on stage and crack jokes for 5 minutes or do 10 hip escapes? I'll do comedy for 10 hours instead of doing 10 hip escapes. But the 10 hip escapes are a lot better for me, and it's going to make my comedy a lot stronger. So I appreciate you guys, man. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys, you driving down here and teaching me on a Sunday where you could have been with your family. I know you're a Christian man, and I respect that with all my heart. That's why I put you on the show, and mostly because of your belief of what you're doing. How anybody could teach jiu-jitsu for $100 a month. Yeah. You're doing the periscopes, you're doing the video. It shows us you got something, you got balls. You're a Jehovah Witness without knocking on doors. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're an ex-Jehovah. I know. I know they'll come back and get you like the Scientologists now. They'll send people to your house 3 times a day. They'll even knock on the back door.
Nah, well, I think, you stay in the game, it becomes an art. And, it's like now I'd like to see people succeed. And I like to, nice people, I should say. It's nice when you see a little guy that, conquers a mountain. And then, when that happens, that's more rewarding than anything, as far as money goes, so that's what I want to do.
How come people get a hold of you, Tarzan, before you choke to death?
Well, first of all, I was laughing and it went down the wrong pipe, so it's your fault.
Christ almighty. Unbelievable.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
Lee, how you doing over there? All right, you're seeing devils and shit.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Thank you for doing that. So, as far as me not catching all the noise I was making, so.
Lee's a good dog. He's a good technical
engineer.
Lee's a savage dog.
Yeah, he's sharp as a tack.
Look at him, he's shaved. He's ready to fucking rock. His wife's leaving for how long? Is she leaving?
She'll be gone for 2 weeks in August.
Oh, you'll be lost. I'll have to smack you around one of those nights. You'll be here crying, worrying she's talking to some French tourist and shit, talking wee and shit. Yeah. You'll be all worried, scratching. You'll get a rash over your eyeball again, like you got at the jacuzzi that time.
You just got one. How did you get yours?
What rash?
The sty.
Oh, I don't know. I think I fucking didn't wipe my ass, and maybe I wiped my ass and cleaned my eyeball or something. Who the fuck? I don't know, Lee.
That's how that's supposed to happen.
That's how it's done. That's how you have shit on your fingers.
So did you go to the doctor,
or
what did you know?
What doctor? You put salt on your eye, you put a fucking steak, and you go to bed. The next morning you wake up, you're back to being Clark Gable. Fucking you kidding? You know what I'm saying? Where can these people find you? Is there a web page?
Hit
me.
Okay.
Hit me, Tarzan. Give me the paperwork over there, Tarzan. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Do you need the Death to Zara too?
The what? No, I got that.
The information that they can see a lot of stuff on is the True Jitsu Revolution. So True Jitsu spelled without an E, so it's TRUJITSU. So the True Jitsu Revolution. Like you mentioned, Periscope. If they look up at Matt Baker BJJ, that's a handle. True Jitsu is a Periscope, but I do a lot of question and answers and stuff like that. Just when questions come in, I make a point to answer.
Put together a national time, get back to me, and I'll blow it up on here. So you have a national time every night. Nice, yeah. If it's 15 minutes, Matt Baker comes on like red or hit him, teach him red, show him red or back. This is why I love you. I'm gonna show you why I really love you before you fucking leave. Red or back, red on round ball. Way before you're a young man too, Matt Baker. Way before you were itching your daddy's pants. Okay. There was a team called the Boston Celtics, and they won a bunch of championships. And the guy who won the championships, the coach, his name was Red Auerbach. Do you know anything about this?
No, man, yeah.
And he was a white dude who smoked a cigar, and America fell in love with him. He was great. but he was very fundamentally sound. And when the NBA or the ABA, I don't know, don't fucking correct, I don't know if they merged or went under, whatever the fuck happened. The NBA, you know, had all these fucking sensational players, so they went after, you know, Sundays. The same way football goes after Sundays. Hit it. Like,
Which one?
red on round ball.
Dang, that's a big TV.
Red on, right there, that one. Okay, so this guy would come on, look at this shit, on Sundays, and he would do this at halftime. Okay, this is what you're doing on YouTube. Put the volume on. He would do it at halftime. This guy here is where from my boy Theo Vaughn is from.
That's cool.
This is Pistol. Look at him. That's you, Matt Baker.
Pistol Pete Maravich, in my opinion, the greatest playmaker playing today. A great passer, great shooter, but a lot of people don't know this. He is wonderful in all these dexterity drills.
Look at
Now,
this.
Pete,
Look
where
at
did
this.
you
This is
start
you
all
20
this?
years ago.
Comes out of a system I started
I'm
around
hugging you right
6 or
now.
7 years
I
of
know.
age, what we call homework basketball, and takes in reaction
Look at
drills,
Theo
sequence
Vaughn, listen.
drills to improve your quickness, your coordination, your confidence, and your overall ability to handle a basketball.
Bruh.
Well, actually, don't you get the feeling that when you're doing these things, the ball becomes sort of an extension of your hand?
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. When I was growing up.
Exactly.
So many
That's
different
exactly.
ways, learning new types of drills to dribble with one ball, with two balls, and so forth. That I never really had to look at the basketball when I dribbled it, which improved my game from.
Because his father would fucking beat him. And if he didn't win, he'd put him in the fucking shed, Pistol Pete Maravich. He drank himself to death, that poor bastard. God, that was my fucking hero, that white dog. Look at what this guy would do in the fucking cold,
How
cocksucker.
about showing us a few of them?
Show us,
Okay,
Pete.
number one,
Watch what
I
Pete
did
would
this
do in the
quickness,
cold by himself.
Just to improve my quickness is what I call a ricochet drill. You stand with your feet apart and you just throw the ball down, back and forth like this. This is really just
Wow.
for coordination purposes. And then once you get into what I call the bullet ricochet, where you try to throw the ball.
Yeah, you know how many times you do that 3 times? You,
God, that'd be cool to put. Yeah. So
do you
it looks like it's on
understand
a
me?
loop.
Do you understand what this meant to me when I was a kid? Now I would get the basketball immediately. Bam, bam. My mom would come and host Antonio La Pelota. Don't break the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Because I would go crazy. This was my life when I was a kid. He played it. This was for 15 fucking hours for 4 minutes. Look at this. This is brilliant. They don't do this no more. This is what the UFC should be doing.
Yeah.
And you're doing it for free. Hit it, Lee.
In the summertime, but the object is to put the ball
I did all this
behind
shit.
your knees. The object of this drill is to clap your hands in front and catch the ball before it hits the ground. It requires a lot of mental concentration, and I don't even know if I'll be able to get it, but I'll try.
What?
This dude is.
What,
yeah.
Lee?
Yeah.
Well, he tried pretty good, didn't he? How about a couple more, Pete?
Well, I can take 2 balls and show a short drill, which is just a short figure 8 drill, using 2 basketballs. What we call in rhythm and out of rhythm, and then going around.
I did this shit for hours in my backyard, like a moron. That's ADD right there. You see a kid doing that, you shoot him. But that was me.
When that ball is a couple inches from the ground, don't you feel real superior to the next guy, knowing that you could start
He's
a
giving
dribble
away,
from that
like,
low position?
Genius
Exactly,
knowledge.
Genius.
Yeah,
One
just
of the best
that's
moves I have,
people.
particularly as an individual, is putting the ball out in front of somebody.
Thanks for
and as
bringing
they
this
go
up.
for it,
That's kinda
do what I call
inspiring.
a stutter dribble, back over like that.
Try
I'm
that.
giving up jujitsu and I'm gonna play basketball now.
It's the same
No,
concept,
yeah.
giving something out there. You
I
know what you do for me right there on a Sunday? Every kid was in the house in my name. Every basketball player was home right now. And as soon as this ended, you got that ball and ran to the court to do what they were doing. That's what you do with people today. Same difference.
Well,
This stuck with me for life. I'd never forget this red on round ball. Every time I got an MMA guy in here, a jiu-jitsu professor, a master, a karate man, I say this is the fuck. Nobody's doing this no more. Look at this.
A little bit different, so forth. It really helps you.
So what you've just seen has a definite purpose. Think. When you work at it, keep telling yourself, how can this help my game? So you can work on it hard, knowing
Pedro has more
this
ideas.
will improve your game.
This is what I'm talking about. Old school motherfuckers right there.
That's what I want to do, and that's well. Hey, I gotta say this. Thank you very much for letting me be on your show.
Please, brother.
And,
I'm a fucking
and,
fan.
And Lee, I wish we started
rolling.
rolling back in December, or we had a little thing. I almost made bump into him, but he had his match and
we might make it happen here.
So.
I wanna let me tell the sponsors, and we'll get you out of here. I know you got a long ride. You're teaching a class tonight. You're a man of 1,000 fucking things. Which I love. You're a family man. You gotta go feed the kids.
Look at you.
Make out a jiu-jitsu.
You're flying everywhere, man. You're just doing too many awesome things.
No, I'm just trying to put the pieces together. First of all, the show's also always sponsored by Onnit. I love these motherfuckers. When I get off a plane after a 2-hour fucking sleep, I pop one of those Alpha Brains. At least it holds me over to the afternoon. It focuses me to staple everything and put all the bills in one stack. I put my clothes in the laundry. It gives me that energy, man. And the Shroom Tech, I'm not sick. I fly twice a fucking week. I'm in a plane with 1,000 fucking people, Japanese people with masks on. I'm going to start wearing a fucking mask on a plane, these cocksuckers. Anyway, Onnit.com right now. Go look at the great selection of supplements they got. They're going to give you 10% off your first order. And you know what? They deliver it right to your house. Stop fucking around with your life. I'm telling you right now. The Hemp Force milkshakes, the protein shakes, the Shroom Tech Sport, the Shroom Tech Immune, not to mention the fucking Alpha Brain, which they give you 100% money back guaranteed. No questions asked. Stop fucking lying to yourself and get yourself on track, cocksuckers, all right? Number 2, they sent me a package, and I'll tell you what. Datsusara, I love what they sent me. They have a great selection of hemp products, strong. I mean, Datsusara means what, Lee? Do you remember?
Let me look it up.
Loyal people working. It don't matter what it means. Let me tell you something. This is a great brand. That bag they sent me, they sent me a water bottle that fits right in there. I put my nasal spray and my things in the other, the sweat towels I got in one pocket. I put the protein powder in a baggie and I put it in there. And then the other thing, I put the regular container of water just so I could put the protein powder in there. So after I get off the mat, in the bag they gave me a little bag that I could put my dirty rash guard and my sweaty fucking underwear in, so I have to drive home and at least I don't have to take a shower, show my little Cuban uncircumcised dick and my fungi toe to all the guys at the gym. Okay, the bag is fucking. Listen, guys, go to. What's the webpage for that?
DSgear.com.
DSgear.com. That's D Gear.com. Go look at the great select. They got a fanny pack. I got everything in there. I flew this week like a fucking doctor, and I fucked up. I told them I was going to take a picture and email it to them, and I forgot that. I feel creepy going up to people. I'm going to take a picture of me at the airport with a nappy sack on. What do you call them, Lee? The front pack I gave you. What do you call them?
They're the fanny packs.
The fanny pack that Rogan talked about on the podcast when we were on there. But Datsusara is a great brand. The gi is fucking tremendous.
And it means to leave the salary worker's life.
You hear what I'm saying? This is the way Chris thinks. To leave the salary. What is it? I got no glasses.
It's a Japanese word that translates literally to leave the salary worker life.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, go to dsgear.com right now. Look at the great selection. From the gi they have to the bag, I'm telling you right now, the bag they have a hooded sweatshirt that is tremendous. It feels like softer than, and it feels great. It's just got hot now. I can't be walking around with a black hooded sweat. Next thing you know, I'm getting shot in the fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, go to dsgear.com right now. Whether it's a bag you want, a fanny pack. Listen, I don't give a fuck what they say. I got weed in my fanny pack. I got rolling papers in my fanny pack. I got fucking a vapor pen in my fanny pack. And you know what? It went through security. Don't tell them I told you, because then you'll put the feds onto me, cocksucker. Anyway, go to dsgear.com. Anything they have on there, type in church.
Joey,
Joey, and get 5% off, okay? dsgear.com right now. Press in Joey and get 5% off. I'm taking care of you. They'll ship it to you, the whole fucking deal. Tell them I sent you, all right? And number 3, I want to welcome to the show one of the fucking best. I'm hearing nothing but great things, Lee. What do you think when you use them? Tell me the fucking truth,
It's called SeatGeek, and it's great. It's great for 2 things. If you know where you want to go, you can just type in okay, I want to go see the Dodgers or whatever. But I liked it because I was new in town, and they have when you put it in your city, you can just scroll through and you're like, oh, these people are here, or these people are here, and it's really cool. And I also like it because it shows you like where in what row your seat. Like it's like you can like you'll actually see where you're sitting in some places, and like you can see by color where the more expensive or less
Who'd you
expensive
go
seats
see
are.
with SeatGeek?
I went and saw the Dodgers a couple times, and I went and saw a play. I went and saw what was the Book of Mormon.
Look at you.
Yeah,
You're
no, it's
a
great.
regular fucking artist. See what I'm saying? SeatGeek. Have you ever been frustrated trying to buy tickets online, guys?
Yeah.
Most sites make it complicated, then they try to sneak in the huge fees at checkout. That's why you need to try SeatGeek. CATGEEK. They've made it easier than ever to buy and sell sport and concert tickets. Okay, Lee told you how great they were. SeatGeek has taken over the work and hassle out of shopping for tickets. SeatGeek puts all the tickets available on other sites into one place so you save time and never miss a deal. Even better, every ticket on SeatGeek is given a grade based on value, so you can immediately find unpriced seats. And before you buy, you can use SeatGeek's detailed maps, like Lee said, to see the view from your seat. Best of all, SeatGeek is always honest and upfront about the price, all right? Unlike StubHub, SeatGeek shows you the full ticket price from start to finish. No surprises, no by-the-ways with huge fees at checkout, all right? Now listen what I'm doing for you. I'm going to give you, my listeners get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. $20 off the first SeatGeek purchase. Here we go. To get your $20 rebate on ticket, download the free SeatGeek app. Go to the settings tab and click add promo code. Again, go to the settings tab and click add promo code. Enter promo code CHURCH, CHURCH. SeatGeek will send you $20 after you've made your first ticket purchase. Download the free SeatGeek app and enter promo code CHURCH today, not tomorrow. There's a lot of great things happening this summer. There's great concerts coming to your town. You always want to see a good baseball game in your family. Right now, go to SeatGeek. What happened?
Download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code CHURCH.
Right.
But
Download the free SeatGeek app and go to settings tab in and click add promo code and enter the promo code CHURCH. It's that easy.
So let me just for an example. We're in Los Angeles. So the first thing I open up, Los Angeles Angels tickets from $3. Los Angeles Sparks tickets from $6. Let's see who's here. The Dodgers tickets from $2. Bob Dylan's here. DMX is here if you want to see DMX. So yeah, that just shows you can follow different people. Tully Quilly is here, but that's 19 plus. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Go to download the SeatGeek app right now. Enter promo code CHURCH, CHURCH. Again, I'd like to thank Dr. Sauer, and I'd like to thank Onnit.com for sponsoring. I'd like to thank Matt Baker at Matt Baker BJJ up there in Bakersfield. If you're in the area, drop in. He'll fucking talk to you, teach you, move on the arm. All right, that's how we roll here.
Joey.
Thank you for having me.
Tremendously.
Thank you for doing what you do, my brother. You're a true martial art master under Jean Jacques, the Lord that saves us. You're a savage. Lee, take it, cocksucker. Hit it with some. We're gonna play some nice Christian music from you right now. I discovered this band in 1987 when I did my little stint in prison. I used to hang out with these Christian brothers, and they would play this while we would pray. Hit it, Lee.
Oh my!
Let's go. Don't do that, baby. Don't go there.
You used to listen to this at Ramrods, or?
No. I got this in Boulder, Colorado.
I got a cramp from laughing.
I had just gotten married, and I brought this fucking cassette home, and I played it for my then wife, who just looked at me with a look of fucking disdain.
Yeah.
And then I brought it to my job, and those white people went fucking nuts.
Sitting at home with my dick on hard, so I got the black book for a freak to call.
Oh my.
Picked up the telephone, then dialed the 7 digits. Said, yo, this Marquise, baby, are you down with it? I arrived at a house, knocked on the door, not having no idea of what the night had in store. I'm like a dog in heat, a freak without warning, not having
I can't help but to look at the video.
Cause me so horny.
Oh shit. You ever see an Asian chick, like a Filipino chick, and you look at them and think of this song? All beat up on shit. Fucked up feet. Oh shit.
That's just awful. That's just
Beat up Filipinos.
When he knew I got that ass.
It's not a mystery. It's
Let me
just
blow in
awful.
my game.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's crawling on the floor like a dog.
Have you heard of the song "The Mother Load"?
No. This still gets me. This still gets me every time, Lisa. I still giggle and fucking. I think it gets better every time I love it. I love it.
Nah,
It's true you were a virgin until you met me. I was the first to make you hot and wetty. You tell your parents that we're going out. Never to the movies, just straight to my house. You said it yourself. You like it like I do.
Oh, wait for it.
Put your lips on my dick and suck my asshole too. I'm a freak indeed.
that was
A dog without warning. My appetite to sex caused me so horny.
I worked in a country bar.
Were they big fans?
Yes, they were, and everyone would sing every line until it got to that one sentence, and then all the girls would like not say it. It was like that was just too far.
I tell your
mean,
parents that we're going out.
Yeah.
Never to the movies, just straight to my house. You said it yourself. You like it like I do. Put your lips on my pipe and suck my asshole too. Oh my God. I'm a dog in heat. Oh shit, a freak without warning. So, dun dun dun. Matt Baker. Me so horny. Me so horny. Oh shit.
Thank you. That was funny.
Oh.
So this is